This month's giveaway is sponsored by Instant Gaming. Win the game of your choice such as Battle for Azeroth by participating and increasing your chances. The link is in the description below. Hello guys, this is Doran's Movies, and today I will be talking about Jaina Proudmoore and how powerful she is. With the new Warbringer series and the current events, Jaina is very important and a relevant character, but what can she really do? So without further ado, let's get into the lore. The daughter of Admiral Daelin Proudmoore, the leader of Kul'Tiras. She was born only 3 years prior to the first war, and right after the second one, her magical talents were discovered. Catherine, Jaina's mother, convinced Daelin to send her to Dalaran, and there they managed to get Antonidas to apprentice her. Antonidas, at the time, was one of the most powerful mages on Azeroth, as well as the leader of the Kirin Tor. She showed incredible potential and would be one of the rare female mages of Dalaran. Jaina's first real task was to examine the plague rumors in Lordaeron in order to uncover if there were any magical origins to it. Proudmoore saw the sudden spread firsthand and the eventual fall of Lordaeron. Overhearing a mysterious prophet talking to Artis, whom turned out to be Medivh, she rallied what survivors she could and she set sail across the sea to the continent of Kalimdor. It was a bold decision, but she felt it was right as there was a strong magical presence around Medivh that she didn't feel before around anyone. After arriving to Kalimdor, Jaina would completely unexpectedly ally with the new horde and, together with the Night Elves that they just met, would defeat the Burning Legion at Mount Hyjal. Following this monumental endeavor, having gathered the human survivors, the port city of Terramore was founded. Jaina then set out on a daring mission to reunite the alliance, connect with the distant human kingdoms, and maintain peace with Thrall's horde. Initially, this worked like a charm, but out of the blue, her father Daelin arrived. Immediately, he took over Terramore, as those were mostly his forces, and started a war campaign against the orcs. He was completely deaf to Jaina's pleas, reasoning that the orcs cannot be trusted. After a serious offensive, Jaina assisted in the murder of her father, and as difficult as that was for her personally, she saw faction peace as more important. After this event, the Horde would properly establish itself within Kalimdor, while Terramore and Alliance influence would expand. There still was conflict for years, but with her and Thrall it was very much under control. It was communicated, as they had excellent diplomacy. However, after Garrosh took over, so much would change. Under the rule of Hellscream, the Horde would strive towards world domination, and seeing Terramore as a massive alliance target, they besieged it. After the humans managed to defend, the Horde would unexpectedly bring in the mana bomb, dropping it onto the city, shattering it to pieces. Almost everyone died, and the only reason Jaina even survived was because Ronin pushed her into the portal. This was a massive turning point in Jaina's history. As much as her appearance changed, so did her personality, doing almost 180 on her diplomacy beliefs. Subsequently, with the war crime, Proudmoore was filled with fury and rage, something that was very much unlike her. Retrieving the focusing iris from the mana bomb, she tried to get support from Stormwind and the Kirin Tor to immediately do a counterattack on Orgrimmar, but it didn't amount to much. Using notes from Antonidas that were worded shut previously, she traveled to Kalimdor and started working on her master plan. With the help of the focusing iris and magic, Jaina sought to summon a massive tidal wave of water elementals that would drown the entire city of Orgrimmar. Thrall realized this and attempted to stop her, and they even got into a duel, but ultimately the dragon Kelesgos got Jaina to back down. She was really shocked and realized her mistakes and aborted the offensive, deciding not to kill civilians and to stoop down to the levels of characters like Artis and Garrosh. However, now she would play a significant part within the Alliance and would help in many future wars. She was the leader of the Kirin Tor for a time, but when they refused to listen to her in regards to accepting the Horde back into Dalaran, she left the role. Now, in battle for Azeroth, Jaina is traveling to her homeland of Kul'Tiras in order to reunite with her family and people. So, with all this brief history, how powerful is Jaina really? What can she do? What things can she accomplish as a spellcaster? Well, the bulk of Jaina's power comes from the fact that she was trained by Antonidas and was the leader of the Kirin Tor. This means that she is able to access a lot of information that could lead her to become extremely destructive, as we have seen in the case of the elemental attack on Orgrimmar. A lot of power for mages comes from their knowledge, and only a select few have access to real research and studies that date thousands of years back. No matter how talented, a self-taught mage is not going to be anywhere close to one trained by the strongest wizards on Azeroth that essentially has all of the magic knowledge at her disposal. Even prior to her first appearance during the Scourge invasion, Arthas mentions that she can handle herself, being able to go face to face against ogres, which are massive creatures compared to humans. It was also obvious that Antonidas put great trust into her, and he was one of the most powerful mages on Azeroth at the time. Now, with that, Jaina is also very battle hardened, which cannot be said for a lot of spellcasters that mainly focus on theory. She fought the Scourge and Archimonde forces in the final battle. There were also plenty of other instances where she fought, all prior to the destruction of Terramore. During this time, she had interactions with other powerful mages, such as Aegwynn. There were also many displays of her magical abilities, such as being able to teleport a massive amount of troops, or even to stun the Lich King at the peak of his power. Now, the breaking point in Jaina's history was obviously the mana bomb. Prior to that, a lot of her mental efforts went into politics and diplomacy, but after that, it was evident that she worked a lot in increasing her power and taking matters into her own hands. During the Pandaria expedition, she enhanced her staff, which used to be Antonidas' staff, with the power of the Thunder King, who was one of the most powerful beings on Azeroth. Now, whether she still uses it or whether the appearances change is up for debate, but most likely she still utilizes the same staff. During the Broken Shore, she was on the front lines fighting demons and would help against the Legion, albeit on her own. Now, in Battle for Azeroth, she actually magically raised a massive ship from the sea and besieged Lordaeron. Not only did she control this monstrosity just with her own hands, but she also froze all the blight that surrounded Undercity and then fired magical cannons at the walls, ultimately teleporting everyone out to avoid the plague. This action alone confirmed just how powerful Jaina really was, as no ordinary mage could accomplish such an act. In the cinematic and in-game, we have seen the average spellcaster fighting on the front lines during the Siege of Lordaeron, but that was absolutely nothing to what Jaina had accomplished. During the expansion, we will still explore her potential, but there is no doubt that she is currently one of the most powerful mages on Azeroth. Alright, and that is all I have for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps out a lot and keeps the channel growing. And thanks a lot for watching this video. See you next time.